The Lord is my shepherd, I shall lack nothing. He makes me rest in green pastures. He directs me near still waters. When I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. Psalms 23. It is a verse that I hold dear in my heart because it sums up everything the Lord has done and continues to do for me. I am Rebecca. I live with my mother and my 2 brothers. Mom is a committed servant of the Lord. I still believe today that had it not been for her prayers, I would be dead today. Before continuing my story, I invite you to subscribe and activate the notification bell. Some time ago, after graduating, I couldn't find a job, so I set up my little business selling secondhand clothes. I had to wake up every day to go to the market through thick and thin, and it was increasingly difficult to sell, given the economic situation. One day, while I was sitting in my little shop, a young girl entered. Looking at her, I admit that I was a little surprised that she entered this kind of shop. It wasn't for people like her. She was beautiful, elegant, distinguished, and the clothes and accessories she wore were branded. Good day, miss. What would you like? Rebecca, you don't recognize me. It's Melanie. What? Melanie? You have changed a lot. I couldn't recognize you. You have become very beautiful and elegant. How are you? What are you doing here? I hustle, my girlfriend. This is where I started my own business. I sell secondhand clothes, as you can see. I see that you married a rich man. You are like these rich wives. Please don't make me laugh. No, I'm not married. What are you doing now? Because you must have a lot of money. Don't worry, we'll talk about it. Give me all the clothes that are down there. I'll buy them to distribute to the girls in my neighborhood. Wow, thank you. Give me your phone number. I'll call you. I packed all the clothes I had and gave them to Melanie. She had just made my day. Melanie was a childhood friend. We had grown up together, and when we had our high school certificate, each of us went to continue our studies elsewhere. Just looking at her, it was just obvious that she had a lot of money. Back home, I called my mother to tell her what happened and who I had met. Hey, Mom, guess who I met today? Hello, my daughter. Tell me. I met Melanie. Oh, wow. Melanie, your childhood friend? Yes, Mom. Guess what? She bought all the clothes we had at the shop. Mom, she must have a lot of money. She was beautiful. It was obvious that she had made in life. I would also like to succeed in life like her. My daughter, succeeding in life is good, but do not forget that God blesses in His time. Don't be in a hurry, and always remember that all things work together for the good of those who fear God. The next day, while I was in my little shop, I received a call from Melanie. Yes, Melanie. Hello, my friend. I would like us to hang out. I'll pick you up in the afternoon. All right. I jumped for joy because I was finally going to ask her what she was doing to have so much money. When it was evening, I was preparing to close the shop when Melanie came over and waved at me. I closed the shop and joined her outside. I must say she had a very nice car. We went to a fancy little restaurant. Melanie, what exactly do you do? You are my friend and you are so rich. Please tell me how you do it. Honey, I'm doing business. I do a lot of business. I'm a little surprised. With all the potential you have, you're selling thrift store clothes. Melanie, it's hard put here. How am I supposed to survive? It is only the Lord who sustains me. Do you still talk about that your God? By the way, how your mom? Is she still engaged in serving that your God? No, Melanie, do not refer to the Lord like you do. He is indeed the one who has been sustaining us all plus. Mom loves the Lord, and we must do the same. Since when do you talk like that? We used to pray together, Melanie. Have you turned away from God? Forget it. We'll talk about it later. I will help you. I'll show you how you can make a lot of money, but before we go shopping. I returned that night, determined more than ever to succeed. Melanie had succeeded, and I intended to do the same. From then I spent a lot of time with Melanie. She showered me with gifts and gave me lots of money. One day, she offered to introduce me to her friends. In short, Melanie always told me about her friends with whom she does business and contributes to help each other. On our first meeting, I wasn't suspicious. I acclaimed the generosity they shared among themselves. One Saturday night, she picked me up for us to hang out. We visited one of them. She lived in a large house worthy to be called a palace. It was a huge duplex. What could a young girl have done to have so much money at that age? I admit that this question haunted my mind more and more, but I preferred to believe in what she was telling me. We were greeted by a young girl as beautiful and elegant as Melanie Cumming girls. "Welcome." "Thank you, darling." "Is this Melanie, the one you told us about?" "Yes, it's her." "Welcome, my sister," I answered shyly. We sat down in the living room where everyone else was already gathered. I admit I felt weird. I felt like this house was strange. The eldest of them spoke and welcomed each of us. And at that point, I still didn't get what was going on. All I remembered was that they were going to lend me money so that I could give it back when I had some. She asked me to say the amount I wanted, so I offered a pittance, an amount which won't be too difficult for me to pay. But they burst out laughing. "We don't lend that amount here. We'll give you what you ask for, but we'll multiply it by 10. But that's too much." I said I could never return that amount. Melanie asked me to calm down. "I won't have to pay that money back so soon. The seed is finished." We were about to leave when Melanie asked me if I had a bank account. "Yes, I have," I replied. "I'll give it to you later." At home, I rushed to tell all this to my mother. "My daughter, the Spirit puts me in heart that this opportunity is not of God, but the devil. Be careful. We will pray for the Lord to protect you. Don't go to this meeting again. And don't give Melanie your account number." Ugh, Mom. At night, I had a dream in which I was among several young girls, and I was asked to sign a contract to receive a lot of money. It was so strange that I felt like we were in a satanic gathering. Instead of complying, I cried out to Jesus to save me. I suddenly got up from bed, realizing that it was a dream. I immediately went to tell my mother. She also had just had a dream where the Lord showed her how they are trying to initiate me into a sect. She too was already up and praying, so we prayed all night. The next morning, Melanie came to find me at the store when I had just opened. It was still very early. I felt like she was very angry. "Rebecca gives me your account number now." "Hello, Melanie. Why are you angry? What's the matter?" Wanting to hide her game, Melanie changed her tone. "No, I'm not angry. Since I am going to the bank, I would like you to give me your account number so that I can make a transfer to you." Come to think of it, I don't need this money at the moment. I'm going to settle for this store first." Melanie looked at me strangely. At that moment, you would have thought she was someone else. I immediately began to pray in my heart. "What? What are you saying? But how? It is not possible." Melanie insisted several times and even offered to bring this money to my shop, but I categorically refused. She quickly left my shop, full of anger. It looked like she was already losing her mind, and since that day I have never seen her again. But long after I learned that she was in a Satanist sect, and that she wanted to initiate me too. Having the Lord Jesus in your life is the greatest wealth you can have. God bless you.